channel. So in today's, yes, I know I'm wearing what I did on Monday's video. I'm filming this on the same day, okay? So a while ago, only a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I can't even remember, but a short while ago, I asked on my YouTube community page and the Poppet Facebook page, I asked you guys to ask me some questions. They didn't have to be Harry Potter related because I wanted to answer them in a video. I haven't done a Q&A for ages, so it felt nice to... It's going to feel nice to do this. So yeah, if you want to hear the questions that I've been asked and you want to hear me answer them, or you asked the questions and you want to hear me answer your questions, then keep on watching. And if this is the first time you've seen my face, hello and welcome to my channel. If you love anything to do with Harry Potter, this is the place for you. Hit that subscribe button because I'd love to have you. Massive thank you to these guys. These guys are my Patreons. They help me keep this channel running just that little bit more. If you'd like to know anything about Patreon, it's linked in the description of this video, along with my social medias. Go see what I'm up to on those. Okay, so I've got my MacBook. I've got all the questions up. We're going to start off on the YouTube community post that I put and people have asked me questions on. So yeah, let's get straight into this. So question number 1, what made you want to start a Harry Potter channel? What spurred the idea and how do you always come up with fun, interesting new content? Okay, so what made me start the YouTube channel? Matt wanted me, my husband Matt, he wanted me to start a channel quite a long time ago and I never had the confidence to do it. And then one day I just did it. But the one day that I just did it was because we wanted to create our bedroom into Harry Potter. And we had all these ideas of what we wanted in the room and how we wanted our areas, as I call them. They're not just shelves, they're areas because they're so deep. And I remember saying to Matt, we can't just have items on them because there's so much of a space. And then I remembered, obviously, at the studio tour, for instance, everything's done in areas. Like you've got Hagrid's Hut, you've got Ministry of Magic, like they're all areas that you go see. And it kind of came from there. And I kind of wanted to show everybody so that I can inspire people to do a similar sort of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, that is why I started a channel, but it's Matt's fault that you guys see me mainly. And how do you always come up with fun, interesting new content? I'm not gonna lie, it's hard work sometimes because I don't just unbox. I do think they are the easiest. When you're buying something or you're promoting something, it's easy, your video's there in front of you. You haven't really got to do a lot of thinking. Whereas obviously I do other things such as DIYs with, you know, Harry Potter chats, things like that. So I've got to find those ideas and I get them from the books, the films. I sit in here a lot when I'm trying to think in my office and I look around. I look at everything that I've got displayed in here. I tend to look at all the artwork on the wall and it just spurs ideas on. Not gonna lie, over 2 years in and I'm still creating content and I haven't run out of ideas and I definitely haven't yet. I have got so many ideas. Me and my dad have got another big project coming next year, which we're so excited about. But yeah, I think just watching the films, reading the books, listening to the audiobooks, sitting and having a good think, looking through some of my other Harry Potter books, you know, just, I don't know, like the Artifact books. I've got the Artifact books, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'll have a read through that. Ideas just come from there, really, but it does take a lot of sitting and thinking. Okay, question number 2. If you were able to create/invent a spell or a potion, what would it be? Now I'm going to look really silly if this is a spell or a potion, but I don't think it is from the top of my head. But either probably a potion that could help you rectify something that you did wrong that you wish you could redo, if that makes sense. You know, like, I mean, you could use it naughty on an exam and go, you know, just go back a bit and be able to rectify that so that you get the answers correct or whatever. But sometimes we do things in life where we think, oh, I wish I could go back and just change that. I wish there was a potion that could do that. Okay, question number 3. You know that I love Harry Potter and we love ghosts too. My question here is, have you got a series of ghosts you like? Mine is Most Haunted and Ghost Adventures, Paranormal, Lockdown. I don't watch a lot of ghost things on telly, but I do watch a few YouTubers, and Oh My Gosh TV, I recommend him if you love anything paranormal, you love a good ghost investigation. I really, really like Oh My Gosh. The other person that I watch is called Exploring with Josh. Now, he didn't used to do ghosts. He used to go see abandoned places, abandoned buildings, things like that. And that's something else I find really interesting. You know, when you see something, somebody used to live there years and years ago and there's still things in place and things like that. Well, Josh, he tends to find really cool hidden places, some right hidden gems, even to the point where I remember one, I don't know, I can't remember where he was. I don't know if he was in Japan. He's American, but I don't know if he was in Japan. I think it was Japan, and he was in this house. It was like a mansion, and there was even money still in the drawer. Now, Josh won't touch any of it, and he doesn't give away exact locations because he doesn't want people going to ruin these properties or steal from them, even though they're abandoned. He's really, really good. But I always said Josh would be so good if he did start doing ghost investigations. And then lo and behold, I think it was last year or the year before, I can't remember, it wasn't that long ago, he started. So he does a bit of both now. He does abandoned buildings and places, but he also has, I think it's called Beyond the Dark. I think it's called Beyond the Dark, but both Oh My Gosh and Exploring with Josh, I love them so much. Absolutely love their videos. So if you are into ghosts and things, definitely go check them out because you might like them too. I think we're on question 4. Question 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, question 4. If you was in the world of Harry Potter, what career path would you take once you'd left Hogwarts? I have spoke about this one before. Now, because I did a suitcase of if I had a magical job, and I filled my case with things I'd need for the job, which was a really cool creative thing to do. And has anyone done that yet? Has anyone done that? You've seen my video and had a go? If you so, let me know. But I would be an aura. Now, when I was younger, my granddad used to tell me all the time that I'd be a really cool policewoman, and he still says today, you'd be such a good policewoman. And I think an aura, it's kind of wizarding police. They're not police, but they're like wizarding police. So I think I'd be an aura. There are other magical jobs that I think I would really like. I love magical creatures. I love animals. So a magizoologist would be great. I'd love to be a professor at Hogwarts. I wouldn't like to be a school teacher, but if it was at Hogwarts, I'd quite happily do it. But no, I would say, to answer the question, an aura. Okay, question number 5. What is your grail piece of Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts merchandise that you would like in your collection? I would love the Alarm 18 potion making book. I really, really, really want that. Unfortunately, if there is one about, I can't afford it, but it's so beautiful and beautifully made. I really, really want that. I'm trying to think of maybe a noble collection item. I'd love a firebolt. I don't know if I'd class it as a grail item. No, because it wouldn't be a grail item, of course not. No, I'm going to stick with a potion making book by the advanced potion making book by Alarm 18. Don't forget, guys, if you want to answer these questions, I'd love to know your answers too. So let me know in the comments. Also, if you didn't get a chance to ask me a question because you didn't see my post on Facebook or YouTube, feel free to ask me questions in the comments that you want me to answer, and I will answer them. Okay, next question. If you had a 2-week dream vacation anywhere and it was paid for, where would you go? Automatically, I think of Antigua in the Caribbean because me and Matt went there on our honeymoon and literally the place is amazing. But I'm not going to say that place. I'd rather pick somewhere I haven't gone that I really want to go to. Now, I would like to travel a bit in America. I'd really like to do that. It's something I've always wanted to do, and Canada as well. I'd love to see Canada. With America, I'd like to go to a very sunny place like Florida or Miami, somewhere like that, like really beach, you know. And then, I don't know, then city life, I'd like to do that. And then obviously the countryside areas and quieter areas. I'd like to travel. There's a few places in America I'd like to travel. So I think, yeah, if someone bought and paid for me to go somewhere, to be able to travel anywhere, it would be to travel within America for a short while. Well, for a while. It'd be really cool to do that. And of course, while I was there, I would visit the Wizarding World in America. Okay, so the next question, before jewellery, YouTube or photography, what was your dream job or goals as a child? Now, I did want to be a policewoman, and yeah, I really wanted to be a policewoman from a young age. I really wanted to be a policewoman, but I also wanted to be a mum. Like, not saying you can't be a mum if you're a policewoman, but one of my friends is a prison officer and she works really odd hours, a lot of night shifts. And obviously I see that and it's like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, hats off to her, but I don't think I could do it. So I think that's what put me off. But I wanted to be a policewoman. And then I've said this before, when I went to college after school, I did painting and decorating. I am a qualified painter and decorator. So if you need your house decorating, I'm there. No, don't ask me. I'd mess your house up. But yeah, I think to answer the question, my dream job would be a policewoman. I really wanted to do that as a child and I still like the idea of it today, but it's just not going to happen. But yeah, policewoman. I'm going to say policewoman. Next question. Apart from the main characters in Harry Potter movie series and Fantastic Beasts movie series, who is your favourite? Oh, character. Now, I'm not going to say Luna because she is a main character and Neville's another favourite, but he's quite a main character as well. One that's sort of in the background that I really like and he just really makes me laugh is Seamus. I just absolutely love him. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, we'll go with Seamus. The next question, guys. What does your personal love potion smell like? I don't know. My personal love potion. I would probably say a mixture of, you know, that nature smell? You know, like grass, leaves, you know, that really nice nature smell. I'd say that. Fire, like a campfire or something. I love that smell. The smell, I just love that smell. And I love the smell of books. That never gets old. You know, when you smell the pages of a book. Am I weird? But we'll go with them smells. So nature, books and fire. Am I just Ravenclaw through and through? Okay, next question. Your DIYs are brilliant. Thank you very much. Were you creative when you were little? What did you make? I was always creative when I was little. I used to get my mum and dad to save every box so that I could make things out of it. Bottles, everything. I don't know what I made. I made a lot of out of boxes when I was small enough to do so. I used to make a lot of robot costumes out of boxes and they were pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. They were really, really good. I did a lot. I did a lot of crafts and I don't even know if my mum has them still, but that would be a cool video to do if I could manage to get hold of any crafts that I used to do. I don't think mum will have any, but if I do find them, I'll definitely show them to you. But I've always been on the go with making and getting creative. I know I won a few competitions in schools, in my schools for making things and doing things. Yeah, I've always been creative. I've always had that, I want to make that and I will make it work because you know what I'm like, guys, I wing everything. Next one, where will you go using flu powder? I don't know. Where would I go using flu powder? It's the same as like where in the world, isn't it? I mean, if it was paid for, America. But the thing is with flu powder, you don't have to pay. You just end up there. So wherever there's a flu network, I'll go. Anywhere that I want to go, whether it's a different country. There's a lot of different countries I'd love to go. It'd be ideal on a rainy day, instead of walking to my mum's house, I could just use flu powder and be there, and I don't have to get wet. Do you know what I mean? See, I'd probably use it for things like that, silly little things like that, just so I don't have to get wet. You know, when I've done my hair and makeup and I'm like, I'm not walking in the rain. Even if we're going in the car, you've got to walk to the car door. Do you know what I mean? Just use flu powder. It saves all that. But yeah, that's my answer, I think, to that one. Next question. They've put, how do you came to Harry Potter? I'm assuming you mean, how did I come across Harry Potter? It was when I was little. I never read the books, right? I've said this a few times in videos now. It was only about 3-4 years ago that I read the books for the first time. So when the first film came out in 2001, that's when I fell in love with Harry Potter. Literally, I can remember my dad walked in with the VHS tape. Yes, that's how old I am, 33. He come in with the VHS tape. He said, I've got a film here. It's just come out in Tesco. I was like, oh, lovely, stick it on. So I sat and watched it with him, and that was it. I was hooked. I couldn't wait for the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next. And when it comes to Deathly Hallows Part 2, I had to go watch that in the cinema with Matt, and that's how Matt got into Harry Potter, because he'd never seen him before. I just bought a house with him and he told me he'd never seen Harry Potter before. I was like, I've just bought a house with you. What do you mean you've never seen Harry Potter? But I remember going to see Deathly Hallows Part 2, and at the end I cried. I was like, that's it. That's it. They're all out now. That's it. We're done. Not done. I'll always love it, but there was no new. And I was so gutted. And then I can remember going to see Fantastic Beasts Part, obviously number 2. Crimes of Grindelwald, and I can remember sitting in the cinema and Hogwarts come on the big screen, and I just cried because I never thought I'd see Hogwarts on the big screen again, and it was so lovely. But yeah, that's how I came about Harry Potter. It was when the first film came out, but I'll tell you why I never read the books, and it was because I couldn't sit still, and I'm still like that today. I can't sit still. I can't, and I'm so glad that I have audiobooks now, because I can do things and have them in my ears. But I can't. I love reading. I do love reading, and I love the thought of reading, but I don't have that. I don't know. I don't sit still. I'm very energetic, and yeah. Okay, we are now on to the Facebook posts. Ellie was making a noise after I finished the YouTube post, so I thought I'd bring her in. You've never seen Ellie, but this is Ellie. This is our budgie. We did have another one, yes, didn't we? We had another one called Blue, but Blue apparently, Blue unfortunately died about 2 weeks ago. So I do keep her with me quite a lot, because otherwise I'm scared she's going to get lonely. But let's move on to these next. And yes, you can be in this one. You're gonna, what are you trying to do? You're gonna climb my hair? You're gonna climb, where are you gone? Hi Ellie, what are you doing to me? You don't want to be on camera, she's camera shy. Anyway, so the next question. So we've got 2 questions of, oh, or is there more? Let me have a look. 4 questions off this person. Ellie, what are you doing to me? You can't stop it. Stop. Anyway, right, which is your favourite Harry Potter book and movie? Now, book, I would probably say, I'm just going to cross my leg. Yes, Ellie. I think book, I'd probably say I really enjoyed Order of the Phoenix. I think it was that book that I haven't read them for a while, and I do have the audiobooks on and off in my ears, but I think it's Order of the Phoenix that I really like. Movie changes all the time. At the minute, my favourite Harry Potter movie is, I think, Goblet of Fire at the minute. I really, I don't know, it changes all the time. But yes, for this question for today, I'm going to say book, Order of the Phoenix, film, Goblet of Fire. I think we're going to do that. Second question off this girl was, what genre of books do you enjoy reading, and what are your recommendations for books other than Harry Potter? I love reading a good murder mystery or a ghost story. I love anything like that. Obviously, I love fantasy. I think recommendations straight off, if you haven't read the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, seriously, you need to read them if you love fantasy and magic. They're really good. There is obviously the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children film. I was gutted because that film came out after the first 3 books were out. And I thought, oh, the first film's going to be great. No, they smushed all 3 books into one film, and literally so much of it was nothing like the books. The books are absolutely amazing, and I highly, highly recommend them books, guys. Highly, highly recommend. I think there's 6 of them now, but they're so good. Really, really good reads. What would be your favourite lesson if you went to Hogwarts, and what was your favourite lesson at school? Are they different or similar? So obviously, as an example, potions, if that was my favourite, was science my favourite lesson at school. I think my favourite lesson if I went to Hogwarts would probably be Defence Against the Dark Arts, because it's quite a practical, it's quite practical. It would be quite a practical lesson. I don't know what Ellie is doing. Ellie, stop it. What are you doing to me? Do you want to go on the back of the chair? What do you want? What do you want from me? But Defence Against the Dark Arts is definitely, yeah, that would probably be my favourite lesson, because, yeah, I think because the aura ties in with that wanting to be an aura. My favourite lesson at school, I loved PE. So are they tied because they're both practical and doing? Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, my favourite lesson at Hogwarts probably would be Defence Against the Dark Arts. And yeah, PE was definitely a favourite lesson of mine. I did love art as well. Art, I really, really loved art. But yeah. Okay, what would be, no, I've just read that one. Is there an address we can send things to? I don't have a PO box, I'm afraid. I do want one, and I think once money goes up for me on YouTube, obviously through growing, one of the first things I want to do is open a PO box, because I really, really would love to receive letters. I'd love to receive letters and sit and read your letters. I really, really would. I do get asked this quite a lot, but at the minute I don't have a PO box. But be sure, stop shouting at me. Be sure I will let it known as soon as I've opened one up, but I cannot tell you when that will be. But yeah, I'll let you know as soon as it happens. Okay, so the next question is there a Wizarding World subscription box in the USA that you would recommend? Now, we all know I only buy Geek Gear boxes because that's all I can afford. USA boxes, from what I've seen, she's hiding now. I honestly really love the Wizarding Trunk. I do. USA, I love Wizarding Trunk, and I do love Litjoy. I'm not 100, I can't pick between the two because I haven't watched unboxings of them enough, if that makes sense. I think I'd love to get the Wizarding Trunk. I really would love to get the Wizarding Trunk. So maybe I should just say them because they're the box that appeals to me the most, I think. I don't know because I do really love Litjoy. I'm going to say it's between them two. The only downfall for me is the prices. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I can barely afford Geek Gear some months. But yeah, it's just down to prices, because obviously the shipping fees and things like that, it's too much. I couldn't do it. But recommendation I'd recommend both Wizarding Trunk and Litjoy, but I do really want to start getting Wizarding Trunk if I can. Have you ever been to any Harry Potter themed locations? Obviously last year I filmed Malham Cove, where Deathly Hallows Part 1, a bit of that was filmed. I have been to a lot of locations, but it was before I filmed, like before I did YouTube. So I don't want to say them just yet because they are coming up in future videos. Me and Matt did actually plan to go to another one this year, but we've had a lot going on this year. I won't get into it, but a lot's gone on this year and we've been unable to travel. And when I did travel, it was when we went on holiday, and I needed that break. Not from YouTube because I was sick of YouTube or creating videos. I needed a break from just everything, to be away. I just needed to be away. I didn't go to any Harry Potter locations while I was on holiday, although we did take the kids to Malham Cove, but obviously I've already filmed there. But be sure there are Harry Potter film locations coming up in future videos. So I'd rather not say where they are, where I've been at the minute in the past, because yeah, I can surprise you with a video. But yeah, I've been to a few locations and I've loved it. Malham Cove, though, was actually a location that I've always gone to before it was even a film location. So I do tend to forget that that is a film location, but it's one of my favourite places ever. And do you prefer purchasing officially licensed products or one-of-a-kind handmade ones, including your own DIYs? Now, purchasing replicas from, like, you're hiding under the dining table, why are you hiding? Purchasing from Noble Collection with the replicas and things like that is amazing. I absolutely love doing that. But when you're buying from a small business, for instance, when they've put the work in, because it tends to be handmade, and I know myself from making my own DIYs, a lot of work goes into them, and I do find helping small businesses really, really good. And as well, I do love some of my DIYs because I tend to try, like the Curse Opal necklace and the Weasley clock. It's not something you can come across and buy that easily. So to be able to make that and to show you, look, you could, I mean, maybe not the Weasley clock because I couldn't even make that on my own. Obviously, Dad did most of that. But the Curse Opal necklace was something, obviously, that I made, and I did it as a tutorial. It's in my DIY playlist. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You could make it. Yeah, it's something I'm so proud of. One, because it's something in my collection that I know it's not available for a lot of us to buy, but two, I made that and I'm really proud of it. I do enjoy that. So yeah, I do love buying from places like Noble Collection, and I love buying my replicas, but I think when you've got either something handmade that somebody's made you or you've made it yourself, it means that much more. And not only that, when it is one of these handmade items, they're not about much, you know, sort of 8 times out of 10, they're not about as much. So you have something, what I'd say, quite rare in your collection, even though it's not licensed. I hope I've answered that well for you. Okay, next one. What's your most prized creation? My most prized creation is the Weasley clock, definitely. I love the Curse Opal necklace, but the Weasley clock was a massive project, and there's so much that you did not see behind the scenes. Seriously, it was a pain to make, and my dad said he would never make one again, because I've had a few people say, oh, could your dad make me one? And it's like, no, I don't think he'd ever do it again. But yeah, my prized creation, I would say so far up to date, is the Weasley clock. What would you do if you became really famous? Right, this is my old school teacher that's put these. What would I do if I become really, I don't think I'd ever become really famous, but I don't know how to answer it because I don't think I've ever thought about that, because it's not something that really has ever come across my mind, because I don't do this to become famous. I do this because I love the fact that I've built a community, that I've got friends that I can talk to about Harry Potter, and I love creating videos, I love creating DIYs. I've never really thought about ever becoming famous. That is not on my goal list, to become famous. What would I do if I was famous? What would I do? There's a horse going down my street. That is the most random thing I have seen. What would I do if I was famous? I'd have a hot air balloon. Don't ask me why, that has just popped in my head. I'd have a hot air balloon, but people that aren't famous have hot air balloons. I don't know, I've never thought about that before. I don't know what I would do. What would you do if you became really famous? I don't know. And also my old teacher put, other than Matt, do you have any pets? Yes, we've seen Ellie. Obviously, unfortunately, we don't have Blue anymore, but we have Ellie the budgie. And also tomorrow, it's Monday as I'm filming this, so tomorrow being Tuesday, so this pet will already be here when you've seen this video. My eldest, his budgie was Blue. Obviously, he's passed away, so my parents are getting him a new pet for Christmas, because the budgies were for Christmas a few years ago. He's getting a hamster, so we're having a hamster. So we will have a budgie and a hamster. Okay, so also he's asked me, what's your favourite humming noise? My favourite humming noise, I love a car engine. Why have you asked me this? And also, which would you consider to be the best tomato soup? Heinz all the way. And then petrol, diesel or electric? I'm assuming to do with vehicles. Electric's better for the environment, so should we go with electric? Thank you for your questions, Paul. Sorry, there was one more question. He said, maybe you could answer the one I get asked and I can't get the answer right. Does my bum look big in this? I'm not answering it, Paul. I'm actually not answering that one. Okay, what is your hope with your channel for the future? I hope for my channel for the future that it keeps growing, that we have a lovely, I mean, the community on here is amazing and I love every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you. I tell you guys a lot and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, your support means the absolute world. But I would love my channel in the future. I think I'd love to be known for my DIYs. I mean, I don't know if they're good enough, but I think I'd love to be a bit more known because of my DIYs. Especially like, for instance, the Weezy Clock Curse Opal necklace, the big DIY me and Dad have got planned for next year. I'd love that to go somewhere. I'd love people to see my smaller DIYs as well, to say, look, you can do things like this too. But yeah, I'd love to have more people see us, like, as a channel. Like, come join us, seriously, because we do have fun on here. And I honestly love this channel, and I always say to Matt, I can't thank you enough for telling me you need to start a YouTube channel. I can't thank him enough. But yeah, in the future, I'd like to have a bigger community on here for us, because it would mean that I could do my Patreons. Obviously, their money goes towards DIYs. If I do anything like a film location, it would go towards that as well. Their money helps towards things like that, and I can't thank them enough. But there are certain things that I wouldn't use their money for. I would never buy for my own collection with Patreon money, because that's for me, and I wouldn't do that. If my Patreons ever said about, do you know what, do you want to get a subscription box, so that I start looking into a different subscription box because it's sort of a review into it, then yeah, we talk about that. But as for like, if I bought a Noble collection item, or no, I know I'm showing it off on my channel and it's giving me a video to do, but it's also something from my collection, and I won't, because I try and give back to my Patreons the best I can. So if I do a DIY that I can do a giveaway for them with, and I think, yeah, that probably won't break, because some of my Patreons are in America, so obviously I don't want to send anything overseas that could break. But I think if my channel grew, if I was bigger in the future, I could do a lot more different things. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I definitely want this channel to keep growing. I definitely want more people to join us, because I don't know what to say. I'm me. I'm what you see is what you get. I'm genuine, and I want people to come join us and see that there's genuine people. I don't lie, I don't clickbait, and there is too much of this on YouTube, and I do feel, and a lot of people have told me that they feel safe on this channel, and it is a safe space. It's even a safe space for me. It's even, especially this year, I've told you, you've been there for me far more than you even know, but this place is a safe space. There's no lies or anything on here. It's all real. So yeah, in the future with YouTube, I'd like to be able to do even bigger DIYs. I'd like to see the numbers grow with people coming to join us. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say about that. So yeah, more people join us and be able to do more on the channel. What's something Harry Potter you'd really like in your collection? I'm going to say it again. I'd love the Advanced Potion Making book from Alarm 18. I'd really love that book. I'm going to say that again, definitely. The Harry Potter community can be quite competitive. How do you cope? Just ignore it. I ignore it, and I just do what I am here to do. I am here to create videos that I want to create, make friends, and that's it. The competitiveness, there is a lot, but I ignore it and I just keep being me. What do you think makes you a true Harry Potter fan? The love for Harry Potter. We're all true Harry Potter fans. We all love Harry Potter. If you love Harry Potter, you're a true Harry Potter fan. It doesn't matter how big your collection is or how many DIYs you've done. If you love Harry Potter, you're a true Harry Potter fan. So what makes me a true Harry Potter fan is that I love Harry Potter, just like all of us. And the last question, guys, if you were a pupil from Hogwarts, who would you be and why? Luna. I would be Luna because there would be no massive change. I'm an oddball. She's a bit of an oddball. She's quirky. She's fun. I can be fun. I'm an idiot, but I can be fun. I have a lot of fun in my life. Yeah, I think I'd be Luna because she's me. She is me, or I'm her. I'm her, should I say. I am Luna in, not like completely, but I do, what's the word, resonate with her? Is that the word? I don't even know. I'm going to look really thick here. But yeah, I'm going to say Luna for that one. Ellie is still under the dining table and she's peeping around a chair. Look at me. Hello! So yeah, guys, please answer any of the questions yourself if you can, because I'd love to know a bit more about you too. You know, things like what did you want to be growing up, and yeah, answer some of the questions for me. And if you didn't see the posts, don't forget, just in a comment on the video, ask me a question and I'll answer it, and I'll answer your comment on YouTube. But yeah, that's the end of today's video, guys. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I am so sorry. It might not even be that long, but at the minute it feels like it's going to be really long, but I did have a break in between as well. But yeah, that's the end of today's video, guys. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it helps me more than you know, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye, Potter Poppets.